Hello, guys. Good morning. All right. I think everyone's kind of in the mood for orientation day number 2. I hope you guys are all rested up and had a good time at probably language exchange yesterday. So let me walk you through a bit about what we're doing today. So we have quite new guests today talking about different things, quite important topics for you. Library, sports center, Moodle system that you actually would be using a lot for your courses. Then we have PPA, again, Police and Border Guard, but different people, different conversation. And we also, of course, I will be talking about new in Estonia, how to kind of settle down. And then we also have International House of Estonia. Moving on, you know how it goes. We have Slido. If you have questions, the rules kind of stay the same, that go to the website, enter the code. After every speaker, we would have a Q&A session and just type your questions and we will try to answer as much as we can. And again, I hope people who didn't register yesterday were able to register today. And if, in case you weren't here yesterday and you didn't get your welcome back, then today you can get it from International Office, Admissions Office. And yeah, the details are right there on the slides. Does anyone still need this slide to log into Slido? All right. I'm gonna talk a bit about Student ABC again. This is a QR code, just in case you weren't able to find it yesterday on our website. You can just scan the QR code. This will take you directly to the PDF, which has all the information regarding your green card for transportation, how do you get through TRP, well, how to get healthcare, how to open an account. So basically, this is your guide. I'm gonna give you a minute. All right, while you guys are at it, just a bit about my personal experience, so which kind of relates to the other person who's coming, the speaker. Basically, I don't know if you guys are interested in, most of the people might be interested in, I don't know, working in Estonia, if not just for the sake of surviving, maybe for the sake of working, because you cannot just stay put. So, fun story. When I came to Estonia, the first week, I already had a job at Starship. I don't know if you guys have seen those little white and black robots roaming around delivering food. So that's basically the company. It used to be easy to get a job around Estonia. I would say it's a bitsy hard, but it's, of course, still better than a lot of countries. But yeah, it's pretty cool if you guys are looking for like settling down here, looking for a job just for the sake of it. So kind of connecting back into the next speaker, they will be talking about, give me a second. They will be walking you through International House of Estonia, what do they do, and what is there for you guys. So please, Sandra, can you please join us?
Sure. Oh. From beginning. Ta-da. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. It's a pleasure to be here as well. A couple of days ago, I was in Tallinn University, and the amount of people there was very big. So it's understandable now that comparing to last year, there were not many students present because COVID. So I'm really glad that many of you have showed up here today. So I am Sandra. I am one of the counseling specialists at International House of Estonia. We are located at Ülemiste City, so yes, indeed, quite far away from you. But I would love to guide you through exactly how International House of Estonia can benefit you guys, and also to give you an overview exactly, perhaps, how you should start thinking about how to find a job in Estonia as well, whether it's full-time, whether it's part-time, whether it's an internship as well. So just a bit of history as well. So if we go back to 2015, Estonia went out to different fairs, notably, let's say, Brazil. And we said, hey, we are Estonia, and we have many companies. We would love for your people to, come work for us. Okay. What company were you again? So we got really sick and tired of that kind of thing. So we discovered that, hey, let's start promoting Estonia in a different way. So coming to this attraction part, we made the Work in Estonia website where all of the job ads up online. We had to get the companies on board as well so that they would put their job ads to there. Then coming to the reception part, we went out to the fairs with the companies. This time we had to make sure that if they did indeed find the applicants, all of the job contracts, they were in Estonian. So we were in charge of making everything into English as well. If the people now decided to come to Estonia, coming to adaptation and retention part, then in 2018, we figured that, hey, we should open up a one-stop shop for them as well. So International House of Estonia was opened. We have different consultations there. You can register your ID code and your address there. You can get different advice from there. And we also have the spouse program there, meaning that if a spouse relocates to Estonia, but their other half doesn't have a job in Estonia, they can apply for this program. It's 6 groups per year. At the moment, we just started with the 4th group. So we guide the spouses through exactly how to find a job in Estonia, how to present their CV, how to present themselves, what the labor market is about as well. And the reputation part, so this is like a circle going around as well, right? That if we do the marketing on our own, but if people chat with one another as well, then Estonia got its reputation from people just chatting to one another. I'm sure that many people who come from the Nordics or from Scandinavia region, then you have heard these slogans quite many times. So what are the slogans for Estonia? Possibilities for fast self-realization, meaning that if you're 20 years old, no one will look at you sideways. If you have great ideas, and you will become a CEO. If you climb your career ladder within a couple of years, that's completely normal in Estonia. E-Estonia, as hopefully most of you know, everything is up online, digital. You can get your prescriptions there. Now you can also get married there, essentially. You can get your doctors, what are the notes you can see from these there, and you can file your taxes within, like I always say, the first year you do it within 15 minutes because you keep going back like, this cannot be this easy. But the next following years, it will take you maybe 5 seconds because it's that easy. Great work-life balance. What is meant here? You come to work at 9, you finish at 5, you go to home, or you see your family, you see your friends. Fresh air and clean nature. I think TalTech is the best example of this because you are surrounded by trees, you are surrounded by the forest and the walking trails as well. If you take a trip outside of Tallinn, then immediately you will be surrounded by the forests. Safe, we have very low crime rate. A quick overview of the salary as well. So back in 2022, the average salary was 1,685 euros. For IT, obviously, it's bigger, so it can be for a junior position already offering this kind of salary. General working time is 8 hours a day, 5 hours, 8 hours a day, 5 days per week. So there were news a couple of days ago as well that Estonia is the most hardworking people with 40 hours per week accumulating. But there are many companies who are switching to the 4-week working week. And 28 days of annual vacation depends on the company who would you be going to work for, is that they will also give you a winter holiday, meaning that you could go skiing or mountain skiing or cross-country skiing as well. Now, I would love to present you a video as well to show you exactly how we have done the marketing campaigns as well. So this was launched this spring. And where we get the ideas from is that we very closely will listen to the expats and hear what they have to say.
Hi, it's me, Steve, from the Work in Estonia ads. You could ask me, Steve, why are you dressed like an IT guy from the past? And I could tell you, it's because the main topic of the new Work in Estonia campaign is time travel. So, let's browse some history. Engineering. Do you remember the time when the internet was wired to your phone? Everything was stationary, so you couldn't move it anywhere? You started building your entire life around it? Yeah, it was a hard drive. Do you remember a time when we had to go to the office 5 days a week? Do you remember a time when we had to live in the same country we are working for? Or even the same city? When you had to go to the actual office to have a job interview and then sign your contracts on paper? When you had to work for the same company for ages just to get your promotion? Or even keep doing something you don't enjoy just because it was impossible to find a more interesting job? Do you remember a time when you had to choose between work and life, work and leisure, work and work out? Well, you get it, right? Personally, I don't. Nor does anyone in Estonia, or e-Estonia as you probably know it. Do you remember the last time you applied for a new job? Well, you can do that now by clicking Apply Now under this video, or the next time you see a Work in Estonia banner. See you around.
So this is similar for each and every country as well, that we are lacking ICT specialists, a lot of engineers. By 2030, we are lacking roughly 30,000 engineers. We are doing a survey about this within Estonia as well, to check exactly if that number is really the correct one. We're probably guessing that might be more needed as well. And healthcare, of course, medical staff, logistics, etc., as well. And so guys, why I'm also here is that don't be these people who wake up at the end of their last couple of months thinking that, I want to stay here, what can I do? We see these cases at the International House of Estonia like too many times when people come in like, I want to stay, what can I do? They go to the migration advisor like, and they tell them like, okay, what have you been doing? I think just studying. But if your resident permit ends, especially for non-EU citizens, you have to understand that the process of applying for a new residence permit, you have to have a job, and it takes time to apply for it. So, I don't know, take a picture, perhaps of this workinestonia.com website as well, because all the jobs there, all the English-speaking jobs are up there as well. But bear in mind, if you now just want to enter the job market, then all the customer service representative roles are also listed in there. So for sometimes there are, the languages looking after there are Spanish, Italian, Japanese, etc., that can be there. So always, these types of jobs are also open for you. And in addition to that, there is the CV-keskus, cv.ee. So all of the languages that are there, Estonian, Russian, and English. Meet Frank is another cool thing coming around as well, that you just apply your CV and the employer, they will get in touch with you. Facebook groups are also one option if you would like, just to earn quick money, let's say during the weekend. You can keep an eye on these things. Don't forget about that you have career counseling at your university as well. And EURES showcases all of the jobs around Europe as well. So this is a quick overview of the bigger companies that we have in Estonia. And now I would really like to move on to International House of Estonia to help you understand why you should and how you can use our services. So essentially we are a one-stop shop located at Ülemiste city. We are multilingual. Estonian, English, Russian, Spanish, Italian. I have a new colleague from South Africa, so Afrikaans is also spoken there now. And everything is indeed free of charge. We are governmentally funded, so you can use the services as well. Who we are aimed at? ICT specialists, their families, Estonian returnees, and all of you as well, so international students. How to find us? So I hope that the tram lines will be put to work as well quickly. You can come there using 2 trains, essentially as well. But if you come to Ülemiste city, then this is a short video of how to find us too.
Welcome to the International House of Estonia. We are located in Ülemiste city in this tall white building that is called ÖPIK. Yes, this one right here. Take the central entrance, then turn left and walk down the corridor. You have arrived at the destination. Welcome to the International House of Estonia.
It's lagging a bit, but I hope you got the idea here. So here is a slide of all of our services. So if you're looking at the core, there is this migration consultation. If you have any questions along the way that I really want to stay here, what can I do? The police and border guard board are with us twice a week, every Tuesday, every Thursday. They know their stuff, they know their thing, they're friendly, they can advise you, they can look into the system, and so you can book a consultation with them. If you want to renew your residence permit, if you want to know exactly if you can switch from a study residence permit to a work residence permit, what does that mean for you? So don't forget that we have this option. It's way quicker to get through to them by us, because if you start calling them, they do not have a hold-based system, so it can take you sometimes a day to get through to them as well. And not to mention that if you try emailing them, there is a turnaround time of 30 days when they can reply to you. Why? Because of the Russian and Ukraine tension, when their workload went up as well. Moving on to identification code and registering your address. All of the EU citizens who you are here, you can come to see me and my colleague from Tallinn City Council. She will make you the ID codes and register your addresses. What does that provide you? You can then go to our kiosk, purchase your green public transportation card, and travel for free. Non-EU residents, if you have your residence permits already, then your last step would be to register your address. You can do that with us. And then also you can go to our kiosk, purchase your green card, and you can travel for free. These 2 things, getting the ID code, 15 minutes, registering your address, 15 minutes, registering for your bus transportation, 2 minutes. Really quick and easy. Moving on, what is very important for you guys, career consultation. I completely understand if you do not want to use this during your first year of studies, because you're still, getting the grasp of everything. But on your second year, you should start thinking about perhaps your internship roles, right? So you can come to us. We have career specialists from the Unemployment Insurance Fund. You have 1 hour of dedicated time just for you. They will review your CV. They will review your motivation letter, check exactly, maybe you shouldn't say this, maybe say this more, etc., etc. You get the point. So 1 hour just for you. Don't be, again, afraid to use it. We want to see more foreign students in our offices as well. But all of our services also are up online, except getting the ID code and registering the address. Now, what if at some point in the way you think, I would really love to open a business. I want to make a new startup. We have business counseling as well every Tuesday. How to make your business plan, how to get some sort of analysis, where to find bookkeepers from, where to find contacts, and expand your network. So we have these things as well. If you're very vigilant or you want to get more along with your, let's say, Estonian friends, because in the beginning, it's quite difficult to get to the Estonians group, right? So if you already know a bit of the Estonian local language, then it's easier to chat with them as well. So every Thursday, we have the Integration Foundation over to help you start studying Estonian. So they will help you to guide you where to learn it digitally or where to join the courses as well. Also, what's needed for you is the culture events, professional networking, and adaptation program trainings. So for those of you who don't use Facebook anymore, Facebook in Estonia is huge. All the information goes around there. So try opening your Facebook again. I would really recommend you to drop a like for International House of Estonia as well, because all of our seminars and webinars are showed there. So at the moment, I completely understand that Estonian pension system, you do not care about that thing, or perhaps even the taxation part. But what about volunteering or healthcare or housing? And perhaps even employment laws in Estonia. So we try to cover as much things as we possibly can. So definitely keep an eye on our Facebook page to be able to take part in these webinars. So we are doing them online so that everyone could join them as well. At this moment, I would like to stop here. Does anyone have questions here at any point? Later then, okay. Mm-hmm. So just in case, covering also this Settle in Estonia part as well. So this is also a governmental program. For non-EU citizens, the basic module should be done within the first 5 years that you will be staying here. So this accounts for resident permit holders with employment, of course. The most popular programs from here are, of course, the language training module and the international protection module for the refugees as well. So this is to summarize everything I have said.
Tere. Hello. Are you new here? Great. We have answers to all your questions. Welcome to the International House of Estonia. Anything from daily basics to immigration procedures, we are here for you. Our consultants can help you with everything from family-related questions to taxes and business environment in Estonia. You can book a one-on-one consultation or attend a fruitful seminar to give you some insights. Or webinar, we have it all. If you want to hang out, our networking events can make you feel more comfortable here in Estonia. And as an added bonus, you meet new people. To know more, follow us on Facebook. As a digital country, we of course offer online consultations. All our services are free of charge. Book now or come visit us. workinestonia.com/internationalhouse.
Now, I am an Estonian. If you don't believe me or you want to know more about the expats, then we have our YouTube channel as well, Work in Estonia, and you can go there and listen what the expats have to say as well. Who loves the speed of the internet or who loves going to the sauna? And not to mention all of our social media as well, but for you the most important one is our International House of Estonia Facebook channel to cover all of the information. And so like I said, I'll give you an example just in case. 1 minute. This spring, we had a client coming over. She was from completely random Tallinn University, goes to a career counseling. And I always ask from my colleague later on, okay, how did it go? What does she do? Like, how is she doing? And my colleague's like, so she was on her last year of bachelor's degree. She was studying graphical design. She had 3 months left when she had to put in her thesis. She hadn't started with her thesis. She hadn't gone through her internship, although it was mandatory for her. She wanted to stay in Estonia. How can she stay in Estonia if she hasn't filled all the requirements, meaning that she would be deported, right? Too dramatic, sorry. But be proactive. Do your internship. Be interested in what's happening around you as well. If you hear a job offer, maybe just go for part-time. If those of you who are studying with a residence permit and you're here for full-time studies, you cannot go for a full-time job because your residence permit, it will be just revoked. You will just get an email saying, hey, you have breached the contract, so to say. But in regards to that student, then also a thing worth mentioning is that my colleague asked her like, hey, so what do you want to do? Like, you're doing this graphical design. We have many companies who will be just, headhunting you. No, I really don't want to do that. Okay, what do you want to do? Correct me if I'm wrong. She was from, I think, Japan. So she said that I want to paint manga or these comics, right? But where can you find a job like this in Estonia? So also always think about your job description as well, or what you're studying. And so, guys, from my end, be prepared. Don't be like that lady who would be just like at the last of her 3 months of legal stay in Estonia thinking, I want to stay here, but how? We're not going to drag you along, right? It's all on you. So, thank you from my side.
Okay, we have a couple of questions. I'm going to start with the ones. Yep, sure. Yeah, we have time. So one person asks, what are my possibilities to get a managing position in a company when applying as a student, perhaps during my last semester of bachelor studies? They want to know if they can have a managing position after they're done with their bachelor's, or maybe.
So why not? If you're like with this, yes, let's get it done attitude, but just like I said before, if you are with a residence permit, full-time student, you cannot go for a full-time job. That is not, agreed with your temporary residence permit criteria at all. So you can go for a part-time job. EU citizens, yes, you can also do these things as well. But D visa holders, yes, you can go for full-time, but just please make sure it will not mess up your mental health.
We have another one. Do I have to book for a consultation beforehand?
Well, yes, preferably we do indeed. So workinestonia.com/consultations for this ID code and residence permit consultation. You can come in essentially during the morning time. These are the most quiet times. But just in case, yes, you could book a consultation. Mm-hmm.
Does Estonia allow dual or multiple citizenship?
Actually, no. So depends now. I understand. There's a tricky question. I know that there are some sort of exceptions. Bear in mind, I come to deal with these migration questions daily, and the dual citizenship is something that I have deliberately decided staying away from. It was just, my head's not a trash can, so to say. But if you have a child now that will be born in another country, then they have the option they have to make the choice when they turn 18, whether to get either an American citizenship, let's say Latvian citizenship or Estonian citizenship. So they have to make a choice at some part of the way. Yes.
All right, thank you. I have more questions. Like, could you share more specific information about Estonian language courses or links, perhaps?
Yep. Okay. So courses, they are offered by the Settle in Estonia program and Integration Foundation. In regards to learning it on your own, Speakly app, Keele Click, Keele Tee. Perhaps I would share that with. Can we write it down somewhere? Yes. Keele Click, Keele Tee, Speakly.
Do you want to just write it down? Oh, wait. Is it already on the slides?
Oh.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. No. Switch. In regards to this dual citizenship question, don't forget that at 12 o'clock or at 2 o'clock, I think my colleague Alina from the PPA, she will be coming over to speak with you as well, so you can direct that citizenship question to her, actually. Alina works with us at the International House of Estonia.
Speakly is actually an application as well. You can download it. I've used it myself.
Yep.
Super cool.
Yeah. No, this is not. This is not listed there, but you can always send me an email at iha@workinestonia.com, and I can always write you these things as well. Speakly has 2 codes. Gives you, I think it was either 3 months of free studying or 6 months of free studying. I know that on the Integration Foundation website, I told them a year ago that, hey, this is incorrect, that they advertised there that it should give you 12 months of free studies. No, it just gives you like 3 or 6, so you can always test it out. But EV 100, so Eesti Vabariik 100, and Work in Estonia are the codes for Speakly. So Speakly, Keeleklikk, and Keeletee are the options for you to study Estonian.
Another one, how hard is it to find a job as an underage student? Maybe like he's less than, he or she is under 18.
It all comes down to your motivation and aspirations as well. So if you go there like this, shy and, I want a job, hi, can I get one? No, be there, be open, I want to get a job, this is what I do, these are my skills, right? So be proactive.
Someone asks, can we walk in and register if we have non-Estonian EU residence permit? They have a residence permit, but that's not Estonian, but it is EU.
I love the wordings that everybody comes up with every day I see something new. So you are a non-EU citizen. If you have a residence permit, then yes, you can come and register your address. If you do not have a residence permit, then unfortunately we cannot register your address, nor does any other governmental institution be able to register your address. You can only do it after you have received your residence permit.
Another interesting question, which makes me feel like people are not really clear about the public transport stuff. The person asks, can I visit your office instead of going to the police and border guard office to get the free public transport? And how does it work for EU students?
The police and border guard board does not give you green cards. They do not give you the public transportation cards. Do not go there for that. So our kiosk, you have, I think, 1 or 2 in the campus as well here, right? So green public transportation card, it costs like €2. For EU citizens, in order to activate it, you have to have your ID code and register your address. Those 2 things are done. If you do them with us, my colleague will just make one simple phone call and personalize it for you, meaning if you walk out from us, you get to travel for free. That was for EU citizens. Non-EU citizens, if you have received your residence permit, if you come and register your address, then if you have your green public transportation card, we can do the same thing. Make a call, personalize it, you can walk out and travel for free within Tallinn. So train, trolley, and tram, and bus.
Another one says, do I need a TRP to get registered? P.S. I have a 6-month-long D visa for my studies, but it will take some time to get the TRP. They don't have a TRP and it's going to take more time. So do they need a TRP to get registered?
So what is the difference between a D visa and the residence permit? Is that with a residence permit, the whole of Estonia will open up for you, right? So you get to access the digital world. With the D visa, unfortunately, you do not have access to the digital world. Therefore, also, you will not have the option to use the public transportation card. With the D visa, most probably also you have to look for a private health insurance as well. Which, of course, if you applied for one, then you already have the private health insurance as well. But just having the residence permit, it will give you the option to use the Estonian digital services. If you want to go for opening an internet service provider, let's say, or your own mobile account, then the banks and the service providers, they will immediately look at you differently, like, hey, okay, you have a legal base in Estonia, there you go. With D visa holders, it's not that simple. So if you want to do those things, then most probably they will ask from you like, hey, so what are your grounds in Estonia? So if you can present them like a document that you're studying in Estonia, they will ask like some sort of fee from you, either to open a bank account or then to open this internet thingy as well.
We're going to take the last question. It says, can I read somewhere online regarding the Tuesday sessions that you're helping the startups with?
Yeah, so this is our consultation. So if you go to workinestonia.com/consultations, you can scroll down business consultation. So we have career consultation, business consultation, Estonian language consultation, residence permit consultation, that means the migration side of questions, and also the social and cultural adaptation, adaptation 101 new to Estonia, and moving to Estonia with kids and family if you're looking for how to understand the Estonian kindergarten and school spots as well. So we have many things, but startups, it goes under the business consultation.
All right, thank you, Sandra. I think we're just gonna close the Q&A.
Yes. Thank you very much, guys, and I really hope to see you as well.
Guys, oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
I also brought you some couple of things as well. So to get started with the language as well, I have this small basic survival kit of words as well. So they are here, they're right there as well, a couple of more. And these brochures and stickers for your laptops or wherever you would like to put them. So take these as well.
Yeah, just to answer the question about do you need a TRP for an Isaac card? No, you don't. You're a student. You just go ahead to Student Union and get an Isaac card. So you do not need a TRP for that. And one Google search told me that it takes around 2 to 3 months to get the TRP approved. So I hope that answers all your questions. So I will be covering a bit about new in Estonia, since you all are new in Estonia, trying to figure out how to settle down and some of the basic questions. So let's start with a video.
Estonia, a destination in which medieval architecture meets future technology. Unknown to many, it is home to 12 UNESCO designations. Take the time to plunge into the zone where the well-preserved authenticity intertwines with the state-of-the-art. Welcome to Tallinn, an exceptionally authentic medieval city that dates back to the 13th century. Join the curious visitors that inhabit the old town's innumerable museums and shops. Culinary gems for the true flavor seeker lie within minutes of reaching. Just stop and ask for advice from the friendly locals. Discover time travel along the cobbled streets flanked by pastel-colored homes where the past and future collide down a single city street. In the old town, unexpected experiences await the turn of every corner, with music often being the culprit. Imagine historical organs resonating alongside experimental electronic music and lively pop gigs, or moody jazz alongside the classic overtures of a dramatic opera. A hidden gem for classic lovers, it is the birthplace of the Järvi dynasty and Arvo Pärt, the most recited contemporary composer in the world. Simply explore the genres of the creative city of music at your own pace. Besides Estonian Music Days or Jazzcar, serious music enthusiasts and industry professionals look forward to the vernal Tallinn Music Week Festival, one of the most acclaimed new music and city culture festivals in Europe. In search of the unforgettable, unite with 100,000 people at the Song and Dance celebration held every 5 years in the month of July. It is here that you can enjoy traditional and contemporary masterpieces, all passionately performed by a throng of 35,000 singers. Picture the sight of over 8,000 dancers of all ages, from grandparents to their grandchildren, creating a spectacle of color and patterns in the open-air stadium, rain or shine. Singing has been the unifying force for Estonians throughout time, particularly during the 50 years of Soviet rule. Imagine the sight of 1 million bolts joining hands in a genuine human chain from Tallinn to Riga to Vilnius on August 23, 1989, now written in the history books as the Baltic Way. Fittingly, a rock music hit, a trilingual composition from all three nations, depicts this awakening and symbolizes the breakthrough of freedom. Just 90 minutes south of Tallinn, you can make the most of your time exploring Viljandi, a creative city of crafts and folk art. Home to the Viljandi Culture Academy, it has all the time in the world. Discover the crafts and folk art in the Estonian Traditional Music Center or step into one of the many art galleries. Tune into Estonian life by joining with hundreds of performers and over 20,000 visitors during the annual Viljandi Folk Music Festival. Or alternatively, sink your visit to the medieval Hanseatic days that are bursting with music, handicrafts and art. For culture seekers, Tartu, a tale-like city, is just minutes away. The university town transcribes as a creative city of literature, holding the Tartu International Literature Festival, Prima Vista, and Crazy Tartu each year. You're invited to join this colorful company of writers, poets, musicians, and artists from all over the world. Sense the essence of local culture in the Tartu Literature House, or dive down an alleyway on a literature-themed walking tour in a city that appoints a yearly city rider. Step back in time 200 years where the awakened spirit of Tartu was home to the scientist Friedrich von Struve. Imagine a group of scientists in 1855 installing a 2,822-kilometer-long meridian arc through 10 countries from Norway to the Black Sea, calculating the exact size and shape of the Earth, a time-proof discovery until this day. Those impressed by science can visit the 3 Struve geodetic arc points inscribed to the World Heritage List: Tartu Old Observatory, Voivere, and Siimuna. For academics and commoners alike, the sauna, or the traditional social network, is the place for genuine conversations and unwinding from the daily routine. Connect to the local life by sweating and whisking in the original smoke sauna in Boroma. Take a sunset dip in a nearby pond regardless of the season, a practice said to wipe away years of cares. For those seeking deeper connections, the spellbound Seto community is the place to go. Let the Seto Lelo take you back in time through the traditions that have lasted 1,000 years. Be bewitched by the Seto's ancient, unique polyphonic singing. Wearing the spellbinding traditional costume and detailed jewelry, the female lead singer delivers a verse line, followed in turn by the final syllables delivered by an enchanting choir of women. The epic landscapes of Estonia's untouched wilderness require an extra season to explore their wonders. The 5th season marks the floods in Soomaa, a word that translates as the land of bogs. Lose yourself in a slow journey through wild places, best explored in a traditional dugout boat, hollowed out from a single tree, built in this magical countryside for centuries. Take the time to paddle to the beat of a bird song with no soul in sight but that of the wildlife. The wilderness continues on the western coast, providing an antidote to the busy urban life. Breathe in some of the world's cleanest air on the islands of the 15,600 square kilometer West Estonian Archipelago Biosphere Reserve, comprising the biggest islands of Saaremaa and Hiiumaa, together with numerous smaller inlets. Walk the long coastline of low and dune-laden beaches. Capture the sight of a scenic mixture of forests, meadows, pastures, and peat bogs embraced by pine forests and juniper. Seekers of the unique and authentic will find an inclusively traditional community in Kihnu, home to just 400 people. Imagine the traditional way of life, where men spent long periods at sea while women served the whole life cycle from birth to weddings and funerals, passing on their folk songs, dances, rites, games, and handicraft skills through generations. This is the simpler way of life, where the visitor loses their own sense of time whilst experiencing a change that slowly happens within. Visit Estonia, it's about time.
I hope that was a bit fun and gave you something new to remember.
Tead, vahet pole, kas valid vasaku või parema, sest mõlemad on kreemijad, krõmpsuvad ja maitsvad. tead, vahet pole, kas valid vasaku või.
All right. So I'm gonna be covering a lot of topics that are like everyday and that you might be useful for you. So grocery stores. I'm assuming that since you're international students, you guys are living around dorms, which if not, then I can find you other options. Then this would be most useful for the people who are living around dorms. And if not, I mean, this would be helpful either way. So grocery stores nearest to dorms or TalTech, I think the nearest one would be Little, which is literally like 5 minutes a walk. The ones, the favorite one is Prisma. As you can see, the logo is right there as well. They have quite a lot of variety, and it's not super expensive. You would even find a lot of discounted deals. So Prisma and Remy are the two names you would hear a lot in groceries. There is Silver, but it's quite high-end, and it doesn't have a lot of variety. So yeah, maybe keep away from that. Estonians love secondhand shops. They love it for clothes specifically, and there are quite many that you can find in Estonia. And actually, there's one in the right next stop from Kemia, which is the first bus stop from TalTech. And it's called Humana, as you can see right here. And we have another one called Uskasetus Keskus. You can just go there. They have 50-cent sales, €1 sale, and the quality of the clothes are really good, actually. So you might want to check that out. Nearest mall, the nearest mall from TalTech would be Christine Keskus, and it is around 9 to 10 stops. The best bus number that you can take is number 3. That takes you towards the Old Town, city center, to the malls. So number 3, just remember, and you will be all good from going and coming back. On-campus cafe, I think you did have a lot of questions yesterday about it. So we do have cafes. Actually, I think there are 3 or 4, if I'm not wrong. And the food there is actually a very good quality and not super expensive. Last semester, we did like a bit of petition with all the student organization, and we made sure that there were vegan options available as well, because we of course want people, if they're vegan and if they don't have options on cafe, they're kind of forced to look other ways. So now even vegan options are available in cafe, and we made sure that the prices are cheap, so people can, even if they want to try to go towards vegan system, then they can definitely try that. So it's a good push. Our kiosk, so finally the mystery of green card and how to get it is over. You can go to our kiosk. There's one automatic one actually in the cafe right near student hall. If you don't know where still that is, I can help you out right after the orientation. And yeah, our kiosk is your way to get your green card, and other things around as well. Basic stuff is available. If you don't know still where ADM is, when we walk straight out of this corridor and keep on walking till the end and take the stairs that are on the left, and there will be ADM right in front of us. You can definitely use that. That's the only on-campus ADM that I'm aware of. We have a basketball court, of course, that is in the sports center that we have, which we will be covering later on. But there's a basketball court around our campus. And if you have not taken a tour around, not just inside, actually outside as well in the forest, then you would have not spotted it. But if you have, then it's great. Then about dormitories, I don't know how many of you are living in a dorm around TalTech. Amazing. So we have 7x1, 7x2. I've lived in 7x1 my 2 years in Estonia. Dormitories around TalTech are quite clean. I mean, it does depend on who you're living with, but usually the first year students are not given the option to have the whole room to themselves, especially 7x1 and 7x2. So I mean, you do end up sharing it with someone else. So yeah, but the staff makes sure that whenever someone is moving out or moving in, the rooms are clean, specifically the shared area. Then for laundry, for both 7x1 and 7x2, you go to the basement and you have laundry options. There you would see an application written. You can download it right away. Internet is not a problem in the basement as well. And you can download it. You have to have 15 euro credit uploaded on that profile, and then you can use the laundry. It's 3 euro for washing up your clothes and then 50 cents for drying them up. It used to be cheaper, but it's okay. And yeah, please shoot your questions. I think that's pretty much that comes in my mind. If you have anything that I might have not covered, I would love to answer. Tennis court, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about it. So we do have Sports Center, which is around 10 minutes a walk from our campus. It's bit like around forest. It's a bit shady in winters as well, but it's really good. We have a lot of options there. We do have tennis court, we have volleyball court, we have basketball court, we have yoga options there, we have a proper gym there. So we do have a proper sports center, and actually there's a physical movement course that you can take. I personally took it for 2 semester, and all you have to do is when you take it up, the only catch is you have to go there 24 times. So you have your Isaac card, you go there, you're gonna tap it, and on your way out, you're gonna tap it again. And it's necessary that you're there for around an hour. So yeah, and you have all these options. If you take the physical movement course, you would have all the options to do all of these things. So just show up and do whatever you want to do there. There's a tennis court outside in front of the Mech tree. Yes, there is. And right around there is also the basketball court that I was talking about. So a good spot there. Does all tap water in Tallinn taste like pool water? Or is it city sub 7 dormitory an exception? I've never been there. I do have a friend there, but I've never went over, so I'm not sure. If it does taste like crap, I'm sorry. But water in Tallinn is drinkable, like the tap water. So you might want to check up with the residents people there in dormitory if it does taste really bad. And obviously, I mean, a better option is to go buy yourself some mineral water. And if you guys don't know, because I'm not sure around EU how does the sparkly water goes, but people in Estonia really like their sparkly water. For me, it was a shocker because we don't have sparkly water. Sparkles only kind of exist in carbonated drinks like cola. So yeah, people do love that. And if you want to try it, Estonia is your good starter. Any more questions? Okay, I think that's all. Guys, you do have 5 minutes of break. You can go to the toilet, have some water, because yesterday we realized we didn't give you any, so be back, we have more to share. See ya. Guys, you can come back around 11:15, that's fine too. Take your time. I hope that most of you are back. Those who are making their way back, we can just resume. Guys, we're gonna resume right now. We're gonna pick up again from the sports side. So we have our next speaker talking about sports at TalTech, Serli Rozeva. Thank you.
So, hello students. My name is Sirli and I'm working in sports club, and I'm also coordinating the course basics of physical movement, and I'm here to talk about sports opportunities that we are offering to students. Our sports complex has almost everything. We have ball guards, gym, circuit training room, group training rooms, table tennis area, badminton, and football hall. Hopefully, it will be ready in October, but but we don't know actually. Unfortunately, we don't have a swimming pool, and our sports complex address is Maniliva Street 7. Now, opportunities for students. If you want to train free, then the best option is to declare our PE course, name Basics of Physical Movement. Course code is MK3001. If you pass this course, then you will get 3 credits also, and you can take this course 2 times, one in autumn and one in spring. In this course, we are offering trainings like ball games, table tennis, badminton, basketball, volleyball, and this year starts football. As I mentioned, our football hall is not ready, so we're gonna start the trainings in our pole courts. But when the football pitch is ready, then these trainings are moving to there. So after the ball games, we have group trainings like yoga, body bump, and acrobatics. Acrobatics is training where our teacher teaches you do some flips and some other tricks. Then we have circuit trainings, and of course you can visit the gym. After passing both courses, one in autumn and one spring, a student has a possibility to train free of charge until graduating from university on the same conditions as the training times in our course. If you're interested in the semester card, then you can actually have to pay 25 euros from one semester, and you can train in the same conditions as the course, but you won't get 3 credits. In both ways, you can't train in the all evenings or on the weekends, so you can only train on these times that we have given. So, as I mentioned before, our course name is Basics of Physical Movement, and the course code is MK3001. To take this course, you need to add this to your study plan in ÖIS, and you also have to add it in Moodle also. Course password is Spordiklubi in Moodle. You can find the password in our web page also. To pass the course, you have to attend at least 24 trainings in our sports complex. You have to do 3 individual works, like championship league game watching, and do a self-analyze in a Moodle environment. There are no right or wrong answers, so it's simple. To declaring the course in ÖIS, you see 4 different trainers. Actually, it doesn't matter which trainer you choose in ÖIS, because you can still participate in all trainings that we are offering. And the conditions to pass the course are also the same with every trainer. So next week we have introductory week. It means that we have trainings only at 10 and 12 o'clock, and the gates are open to everyone. From 11th September starts full timetable, so we have trainings at 8, 10, 12 and 2 o'clock, and 2 evening times when you can only visit the gym. From 11th September, you need an IC card to enter the sports club. And from that date, our system starts counting your training times. Before that, the system do not count the times, so yeah, everyone can come and see what we have there. As I mentioned, you need an IC card. If you don't have an IC, you can get a white card in our sports club. White card has a 10 euro deposit, so if you bring this card back, then you will get this money also back. To get attendance, you have to validate your card 3 times in the sports club. First one, when you are entering the sports center. Second one, inside the training room. And the third one, when you're leaving the sports center. That's the reason why you need this card. And if you are coming to watch our games, so you need this card also. If you have more questions about the sports opportunities, then you can contact me, but also you will find more information in our webpage and our Facebook page. So, thank you.
I have questions here. Let's see. I think no more questions, guys. I think then we can move forward. Thank you so much. Yep. Oh, wait, we do have a question. I have already submitted my study plan. Can I still add the sports course?
What she or he added?
Guys, what did you add? Who was the question? Who was the questioner? Okay. Maybe they just submitted their study plan and now they're wondering, can I add?
Okay, you can take your study plan back and you can add it.
I think you can cancel that study plan and then you can add and then again submit it. They asked, could you write the password for the course on the board, please? I think which one was it?
Back
Here?
no.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, you can see it from here. I can also maybe write it down while we can ask another question. Do you guys have trainings for boxing and jiu-jitsu?
We have 2 boxing bags, but we don't have like trainings. But if you're interested to do some boxing, then you can do it.
If there's any other question, let me see. I think that's all the questions. Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a question. Who's a bookworm here? Bookworm, a nerd, loves books. Amazing, good to see show of hands. So likewise, I do have a good news for you. We have pretty amazing library in TalTech, and not only it has books from your courses, but also pretty wide variety of novels that you can read and some things that are not related to your course at all. And they're pretty good magazines like Harvard Review and Times. So yeah, Len Natru, please come and talk about library.
Hello, I am Lene Truu from the TalTech library. I'm subject librarian. I would like to introduce our library resources and services, give you some searching tips, and highlight our contacts. So as for myself, I have studied abroad, and I find that from university to university it differs slightly how to start searching for resources. So in our case, the easiest to remember is that our library main page has a search field from where you can start. We have here a nice way to go quickly to the library page itself. So if you are on a TalTech page or in UIS or Moodle, then you can click on quick links, and from there the white menu up there will appear, and you can click then on the library. So from there you can access our page, and the search field itself is also visible here in the upper part of the main page. So this is something that is really convenient, that all the resources, including also main e-resources, are all accessible through searching the search portal. Maybe you have wondered what is this building, so now we can take a closer look at it. It is our library building. It is quite unique as it has a nature-inspired design. There are 3 circles on it, so outside as well as also inside the library is tree inspired. Here you can see the opening times. From next week we are open from Monday to Friday, and also on Saturday. On Sunday we are closed, but the study room is open. To enter the study room you need the IC card, and when you are using it, it's better to check it before that it all works out for you. If not, then also on the door of this study room there are instructions what to do. And in order to enter the library, then study room, when the library itself is closed, then you would need an IC card to get into the building itself, also through by using this card. Here you can see the library guide, and on each floor we have a certain subject. And for all of you, what is important is that on the 3rd floor there are textbooks. So this is something that I will talk about later also more in detail, but only our students can then borrow these, and it has several perks when you are registered as a student and take the books from the textbook collection. So on the 1st floor we have, besides the study room, also a book locker and book return machine. And when you wish to bring back the books outside of our regular opening times, then this is very convenient to use this self-check-in. It is open from 7 until 10 o'clock. And also you can then order books to the book locker. these are quite convenient services. On the second floor, when you then come up from the stairs, then you can find the library lobby, and here we have on the second floor the main service area, as well as computer lab, and the computer lab has a printer also, which is convenient to use there. On the second floor, we have social sciences and economics as the main subject that is there. Then on the third floor, there are textbooks and also natural and exact sciences. So how to find the textbooks is that when you are coming up the stairs and facing the natural and exact sciences, and you turn around and go to the other side of the staircase. So it is quite easy to find the collection, because the shelves have heaps of textbooks on them. It looks from distance already different. The fourth floor is a place to come when you want to have a really quiet space, and in general we ask people not to speak loudly on any of the floors regardless. Here it is then a dedicated area. On every floor we also have these phone booths, which you're welcome to use also. It's best to use it up for 15-minute calls. Then on the fifth floor, you can find also some group rooms. The group rooms are from 3rd to 5th floor, and individual study rooms are on 3rd and 4th floor. And here you can see also in the top corner there is our new group room, which it has nice sofas, so this is also ready to use. To use our services, you would need to register as our user, and it's important to have your student code also ready when you start registering. So you have several options: doing it by yourself through Estonian ID card or temporary residence permit card online, or you can add this function of library card to these cards also at our service desk. Then if you wish to have a fee-based card, then this is also possible at the service desk. The student code is really important, because in order to register as our student and to have the perks that come along, then you would need to insert the student code, and without that it's not possible to register as a student. And as a occupation, please also choose then a student. In online system, after you have chosen student and faculty, then this possibility to enter the student code appears. Here on the page we have this quick link also for registering as our reader. Then to find books, the best way is through our homepage, and you are directed also to the online catalog Esther when it is a physical book that you are searching for. So in case you wish to continue searching on this catalog, it is also possible. So from this entire collection, drop-down menu, just choose TalTech University, TalTech Library, and then this Ester catalog might be useful if you want to extend your due dates. Then my Ester personal account area is a place to do that. So how to find a book quickly from the OpenStack? It is good to write out the call number, and if you click on the blue icon, then you can see the floor plan. And here on the floor plan, there is also the shelf number written, and if you go to this shelf, then you can see that there are several subject names and numbers on both sides of this shelf, so you can choose from here which of the subject names is for you, and this is included in the call number. So here you can see that the call number itself, 352, is also written on the shelf at the bottom. So in our OpenStack we have an area for each subject, and then there it is divided by language groups. So first there is Estonian, then there are English and other Latin alphabet languages, and then there is Cyrillic languages. So in each section it is ordered alphabetically. And here once again you can see that there is a book that is in textbook collection, so it is always best to choose this from the textbook collection. There are many copies there, and the deadlines are longer than in regular collections. You can see that at the bottom you could also see the full list. Sometimes it is important to look at the full list also. Here you can see the loan periods. Generally it is 30 days, and for some textbooks it is even 90 days, so it is best to take the books that are in textbook collection from there, and the same book might be then again with 14 days, 7-day deadline also, so it is best to pay attention to this possibility to take books from textbook collection. And also please make sure to extend the deadlines in time, renew the due dates, and or bring back the books to avoid fines. Here you can see the self-check-in machine, so you can use this on the second and third floor, or there are service desks on second, third and fourth floor where you can borrow all the books. If the book is in storage, then just write a call slip by the service desk, and they will bring it to you in 5 to 15 minutes. As a registered student, you can borrow up to 25 items. Here you can see also the book locker to which you can order books, and there is also paid service, but the book locker itself is much more convenient to use. And as I mentioned that quite often when you search from the search field on our homepage, then there are physical books as well as e-books or articles that come as search results. And in order to open these e-resources, then remote access is possible from your laptop also. This is on our homepage linked, so you can see the details about using this application on your laptop, also UniID would be required to use it. And if you need help, then IT help desk will then solve the problems when they might occur. So in library we have on each floor computers which are there for you to use them by entering your Uni ID, or you can enter the username and password that are written just above the keyboard. There is also a computer lab which is there for all to use. And in information kiosks, you can also, for example, book rooms. So this is also an opportunity, but the rooms can be booked also on our homepage. And also scanning is possible on every floor. And what is also quite convenient is that you can borrow like quite many computer accessories from our 4th floor just to use in the library for that day. And it is helpful when you're in a pitch, so you can take the needed item and use it in the library. Also, printing is possible on several floors. We have one in 24/7 room, as well as then on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the library. You can use Print in City service. It is another service provider, so on their page they have detailed information, but in principle you can create an account and add credit there. And just important would be when you're printing out the file that you have saved it as a PDF. And here are also then our group and study rooms. It is possible to reserve them in advance, and during the semester it is best to reserve it in advance, otherwise you are there and you see that most of them have been already occupied. So it is free of charge, and you can use it freely. And then our group study rooms are for groups from 3 to 6, 7 people. The individual study rooms can be used by 2 people also, because there is an extra chair there for you. There are also some rooms that if you want to use it over a period of time and leave your, for example, loaned books there, for the meanwhile you can pay and get a key for it, so it is reserved for you, and you can lock it in between. The usage of this room would be during the library opening times. And again, on our homepage, there is then the instructions how to reserve the room under the quick links. You are always very welcome to ask information if you need some help finding materials, or wondering how to use some databases. So you can book a consultation or come by at our info session on last Wednesday of every month in the library. So you are always very welcome to visit us. Come every day if you wish. So I hope that the library services can help you to study more and more efficiently. Thank you.
We have a couple of questions that we will be answering. So there's one person who asked, what are the fees for the books?
So this depends on the loan period. For the books that have the loan period of 14 days, 30 days, and 90 days, it is 5 cents per day per book. And for books that have loan period of 7 days, then it's 20 cents per book per day.
We have another one. Can we just sit at the library and read there? Do we need to check out a book every time?
You can always come. It's really nice place just to work. There are very many wide open, nice spaces and sofas, and please come.
Another one. What languages are the books available in, and are there any ebooks available?
There are very many ebooks available, and these can be then always searched through the library search portal. Then the majority of the books in different fields are in English. So this is like the main language where we have the new books coming in also.
Why do we need the library card? That's one of the questions.
The library card is needed when you want to borrow a book or to reserve a room, or there are some other services like getting the accessories for your computer. So when you just want to come by and work there or read at our library, then for this you don't need a card.
There's someone asks that, are we able to volunteer or participate in helping or organizing the books in library?
If you have a specific idea, then you can always write to us and ask and tell what's your idea with this in specific.
Oh, there's a very specific problem. A person has a problem logging into their Esther with a code and they got from the library, and they wonder what they should do.
Okay, so I understand that you created account at the library service desk, and you want to log in to the My Esther. So in here, I am not sure what the code means.
Maybe password to the system?
Okay, then if you received a password from the service desk and this does not work for you, then please go to this service desk and they will help you with this password.
Right. Are you allowed to download anything on the library computers? Can they download anything? Is it possible?
It depends what you mean here. First of all, for example, if you need some software, then it is most convenient to use your UniID, because then you can download from the software center portal that is there for that. And if you are accessing the ebooks through a database, then you are able to download the files to this computer. So these are PDFs of paragraphs from the book or articles.
Okay, we're gonna take the last question. Someone asked about if we have Greek mythology or philosophical or maybe psychological books also in the library.
As far as social sciences go, then there are some sections under there, and you can just look really nicely from the homepage what sections are there under there. So this is something that when you enter, go to the homepage and look for the OpenStack plan, then this is one option, and the other option is if you are in the library already, there is the info kiosk where it is also as a separate icon just to see everything that is under this social sciences.
Thank you, Lena. That's all.
Thank you.
Hey guys, before we jump, I really want to ask one question. I do have like some candies and I don't want to go home with them. So I have one question for one of the bags. Who knows the Estonian word for the name of our university? TalTech. Oh. Oh, come on. Okay, you got that. Oh, let's see. Can you catch this? Amazing. All right, we can continue the questions later. Next up, we have a very, very important presentation. It's about the Moodle system that you basically use. You would be putting in your coursework, you will be putting in your thesis, assignments, so it's really important that you have full focus in the next presentation. I'm gonna call Liisi Järve here to present. Would you need this? Alrighty. And this is the pointer. Just check.
1, 2, 3. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Liisi Järve. I'm the head of the Educational Technology Center here. I have been for around 5 years. And I'm also the Moodle Business Project Manager, which means basically that I'm kind of representing the user interests, including your interests when it comes to Moodle developments. And also I have been like a co-supervisor for theses that are related to Moodle. So if you're an IT student and you want to do your thesis about Moodle, then feel free to contact me for any ideas about what you would like to write about. When it comes to students, then I think that the most important information about Moodle for you is basically just how to log in and where to contact. Because I'm pretty sure that many of you have used Moodle before in your previous universities or high schools. So there's not anything too complicated about Moodle. It's pretty intuitive. And it's not anymore what it used to be 10 years ago. The UX has improved significantly. So at least my experience shows that we haven't had any requests from students. Nobody steps into our office with some major issues. We usually advise lecturers. So what our center does is we don't take care only about the LMS, but all the educational technology. So also hybrid classrooms, plagiarism detection, online examination software, basically everything. But everything is kind of connected to Moodle via integrations, or we use plugins. So basically it all comes down to our office and lands on our table. I think, is there anyone who hasn't heard of the Moodle LMS here? Oh, really? Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess you're degree students, so you come from all over the world. So makes sense. But yeah, Moodle is open source software, and it's developed by Moodle HQ, Moodle headquarters, which is it's located in 2 places. They have like a main office in 2 places, in Barcelona and in Perth in Australia. So Moodle HQ develops Moodle together with the community. So there are lots and lots of Moodle developers all over the world. And there is a new release of Moodle Core basically every 6 months. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you is that if you see that at the moment our Moodle version is 3.9, if you see that you don't like something about Moodle, oh, I don't like this calendar or something like this, then it's not, most likely it's not developed by our university, because we are just using a certain Moodle version developed by Moodle HQ. So yes, we can do developments, but most of the developments that we do here at our university are integrations with other information systems, or just some plugins. But yeah, normally we just use the newest Moodle version. And next week we are trying to move to Moodle version 4.1, which is a UX version, UI UX version. So Moodle will look even prettier. So, but the issue with this next week's upgrade is that we don't have a very good time for it. You know, school has just started. Everybody wants to start using Moodle, and since we're a bit behind, then I just look at you. I'm just saying, like, please, like, sorry if it happens like Monday or Tuesday, and you have some sort of interruptions. And we know that. We try to do it in the evening, but we're not sure what our partner says about it yet. So. Yeah, we had some difficulties, some issues with some of the plugins, and we actually wanted to do the upgrade already a few weeks ago. So yeah, sorry about that. Just gonna skip this slide. How can I start using Moodle? Yeah, this is a slide by our Moodle administrator, Silver. So yeah, he recommends to bookmark it for you. One thing is that if you Google TalTech Moodle, if you Google Moodle, then the front page that you find about TalTech Moodle is not actually the correct one. So if there are any IT students here who want to help and know how to fix this issue, then I'm super happy about it. It's like, this, what you see here is actually our Moodle front page. So the one up there is the one that we will have after the upgrade, and the one on the lower photo is what we have right now. This is the correct, the front page, but if you Google TalTech Moodle, you will get something completely strange. so yeah, that's not the correct page. So that's why it's recommended to bookmark the correct page. Yeah, and UniID, how to log in as well. Oh, okay. About logging in, yeah, you log in with your UniID. If you don't have a UniID, you can also use other identification methods, like your ID card. If you already have the personal code or personal identity code, you can use that, and Moodle will create a user for you. And later, you can still use UniID as well. Mobile ID you get when you go to mobile services provider like Elisa, Telia. I think it costs something like €1 a month or something like that. And again, if you have the mobile ID, you can just log in, and later you can still use the UniID as well if you don't have it yet. And the Smart ID is something that the banks provide. So, that should be for free. So you have different options. There's also more login options there, but that's not meant for you. That's meant for the, how do I say, open university, or more like trainings. That has nothing to do with you. So. And yeah, here I just put some photos. So not even quite sure. So the one that is on top, that is the new Moodle version, Moodle 4.1. That's your dashboard. The one that is behind is the current version. So this is how it will change, hopefully next week. And something that is new about Moodle version 4.1 is when you can see that in the current version, the menu is on the left side. it will move under the heading, under the course heading. So it's not anymore on the left side, but under the course heading. So this is something that you maybe want to remember. How to enroll to a course? The lecturer gives you an enrollment key. They usually do it in the first lecture. And then you just search from the Moodle dashboard the correct course, or maybe the lecturer shares also the link with you, and you enroll to the course with the enrollment key. We are working on the development that there would be automatical enrollment for students based on the information coming from our SIS, like Study Information System, OIS. But we're not quite there yet, but we are working on it right now. So at the moment, you register with the enrollment key. Another example of the course front page, again, the one that is on top is like the new version. Maybe just so you know that lecturers have around 8 different course formats that they can choose from. So not all of your courses will look exactly the same. So the reason why I'm showing this is that the photo on the right side is, for example, what we call tiles course format. But yeah, for example, here on the right side, there is collapsed topics. So this is something that the lecturers can choose themselves. What else? I don't know if you can see from here, but there's a help button there. I think you can see. Help button is up there on the next to the TalTech logo, basically. And that's like important because if you want to contact us, you have some issues with Moodle problems, or you want to submit a development idea, then click on the help button and you will end up in the Jira service desk. So you can leave us a ticket there and we will check it out. So yeah, it's next to the, there's TalTech, then Moodle, and then help. It's the third one right now. Yeah, another thing that we discover is that students don't often know that there is a menu link or like a functionality as grades in Moodle. So many lecturers submit your intermediate grades in the grade sheet, but students don't know that it exists because they don't click around in Moodle. So it's just check it, maybe. So your grades are not only in OIS, not only in the study information system, but the intermediate grades are often here in Moodle. And those intermediate grades are actually also, you can see them also in the student portal because we have an integration with the student portal. So the intermediate grades move also from here or duplicated to the student portal. And yeah, I don't have that much even to talk about anymore, but yeah, terms of service, those of you who are interested in data protection and all of that, this is right now being updated, so we will also add here information about how long we keep the courses, how long, we have a new archiving policy about the courses, so we keep them 5 years. We will add it here as well, and we will also add the information about how long we keep user data, how long we keep the logs. The logs are kept for 1 year. So all of this information you can find here, and also information about where your data is. So our data is in Tartu. Basically, the servers are our service provider for our servers is the Ministry of Education. And it is, the servers are located in Tartu, the city of Tartu, so in Estonia. Your data is in Estonia. But yeah, this information is here. So yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't really know what interests you so much because usually I talk to the lecturers, so please ask me questions from the student perspective.
We have one question saying, once you have the mobile ID or smart ID, can you then link all of this together also with your uni ID?
Yes. So when you make an account by using mobile ID or smart ID. Moodle will create a user account for you. And then when you get the Uni ID, then every night, I don't know if you've heard of cron jobs or, but basically, it will link your accounts via your personal identity code. It will know, if I answer the question.
Someone is concerned about if dark mode is available on Moodle.
Dark mode, what does that mean? Dark mode.
I think they're just.
That
can,
is
can
too.
you customize it somehow, like with color grading and stuff?
I think the lecturers and students, no, they can't do that. We have a Moodle theme, that has been developed, and I showed you that we will have a new one. So it will not be that pink anymore. It has been, for a while now, and
okay.
Yeah.
We have a better question, which is, what is mobile ID and Uni ID?
What is mobile ID?
And Uni ID, yeah.
Mobile ID is something that you can make. You go to a mobile service provider in Estonia, like Elisa, Telia, and you ask for a mobile ID. You say you want it. It's like an identification service. You pay about €1, I think, a month for it, and you can access all kinds of different information systems in Estonia with it. It's like. But Uni ID is what we actually recommend to use for all the, you can't log into many information systems of our university if you don't have the Uni ID. And Uni ID, I think, I'm not exactly sure how the students get it, but I'm sure you will get all that information from the faculty. So Uni ID is, like our university's identification, like service.
I think that was the last question. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, doing a little refresher before we're moving on to the next presentation. I'm gonna have 2 more questions and then we can move on. So, and this time you're gonna have to raise your hand before you answer. It's like buzzer, so just raise your hand instead of just blurting it out. By the way, the Estonian word for TalTech University is Tallinna Tehnikaülikool, which is Tallinn University of Technology. And next question would be, who knows the full abbreviation for ESN? Okay, you. Wait, we have a buzzer. That hand went. Again? You got it, amazing. There you go. Okay, we have one last question, then we can move on. All right, so who remembers what time does it get dark in Estonia in winters? Your hand was first up. One answer. All righty, 3 p.m. it is. Yeah. Amazing. Okay, guys, a little refresher. A little mini refresher. I'm gonna say something and you're basically gonna follow if you agree. For example, if I tell you, has anyone here watched Oppenheimer and Barbie, then stand up, then you're gonna stand up. And if you haven't, yes. And if you haven't, then just stay put. Yay, I'm proud of you, I'm proud of you. All righty. And stand up if you have been to a foreign country except for Estonia. Perfect. Perfect. Sit down if you have been to at least one ESN event. Sit down if you're coming to the pub crawl this Friday. Sit down. Sit down if you're new in Estonia. Just sit down, really. All right, so the next person is from Police and Border Guard, and this is basically about the legal side today more. This would be, Police and Border Guard is your first POC regarding legal stuff. So Also, I will be passing on this form for registration. It's kind of compulsory, and you can just pass it on through the audience. And meanwhile, I would ask, give me a second. I will be asking, yep, Alina Suvarova to come over. Please join us. Here you go.
Working? Yeah. So, hello people. How are you today? Good? Tired? Ready to listen? Oh. Are you not listening? You're leaving? Okay. So, I will introduce myself a little bit. I'm Alina. I'm a migration advisor and I work at the Police and Border Guard Board. And yes, you mentioned, thank you very much about this registration leave. Please, everyone fill it in. Otherwise, next year it will be not possible to do such presentation for you again, because it is one of the conditions of our project. And today I will speak about students, about you who would like to live in Estonia, to study in Estonia, and also work in Estonia. Do you see good? Yes? Mm-hmm. So today our topics are, we will start with the European Union citizens, and we'll speak what are their obligations and what they should do in order to start living, studying, and working in Estonia. And then we will continue with the topic from students outside of European Union. And here I will speak a lot about different legal bases to stay in Estonia, about long-term category D visa, about residence permit. And last but not least, I will introduce my service where I work at, and I will speak about migration advisors. Who are we and what are we for? So let's start with the students from the European Union, and maybe you will raise your hands who are here from the European Union citizens. Hi. So please listen very carefully. This information is for you. It's not very much, because not very much topics you need to do, but still. You have a right to stay in Estonia 3 months in a row based on your ID card or passport without any registrations at the Police and Border Guard Board or anyone else. If you wish to stay in Estonia longer than 3 months in a row, then you have an obligation to turn to the local government and register your place of residence. Within that, after that, you will obtain automatically 5 years of right of residence. Also, regarding your possibilities to study, work, then this possibility you have upon arrival to Estonia, not awaiting for the registration of your place of residence, only based on your passport or ID card. So, after you register your place of residence at the population register, then you will have an application. This application is to apply for an ID card, and that you should do at the Police and Border Guard Board in person. Within 1 month after registration of your place of residence. We always say, yes, it is not required to make booking for this procedure for applying for an ID card, but still we recommend you to do that through the booking calendar, option number 1 in the booking calendar, just to avoid the long queues. Because you know the concrete date, time you come and apply for an ID card. You do it in person. You ask why I do it in person, because it is also necessary that we will collect your fingerprints. That will be done at the spot. You can do it using photo booth service, which is available in each service office of the Police and Border Guard Board. So that's so far all for the European Union citizens. And let's continue with the students from outside of European Union. Here information is much longer. So first of all, we'll speak about different legal bases, how you can arrive and stay in Estonia. First of them, it is visa-free regime stay, which allows you to stay up to 90 days during 180-day period in the whole Schengen area. Estonia is a Schengen country as well. It depends on your citizenship. For some country nationals, it is required also to have a biometrical passport to use the visa-free regime. For some, not. What is an alternative, an equal status to the visa-free regime? This is the Schengen, or as we call it, C-type visa, which also allows to stay in the whole Schengen area up to 90 days. And such type of visa can be applied only at the embassies, not in Estonia. Another one, legal basis, longer one, which allows to stay in Estonia up to 365 days. It is long-term or long-stay category D visa, which can be applied at the embassies, Estonian embassies, before arriving to Estonia, or if you're already here in Estonia on a legal basis, for example, visa-free regime or C-type visa, then can be applied at the Police and Border Guard Board. Other country temporary residence permit or visa based on study purpose. Here I mean European Union residence permit or visa. One of the most common questions which we have is which basis should I choose? And it's a very logical question, actually. So usually we say, if you plan to stay in Estonia and study for up to 1 year, then preferable is long stay category D visa. If you know that your studies last longer than 1 year, then you might need to apply for a temporary residence permit based on studies. For the degree students, usually they use a combination of such statuses, starting with the visas, and then during their staying and studying based on a visa, they submitted applications for their residence permits. So, regarding legal basis to stay with another country, European Union country, temporary residence permit or visa, there is one exception which I consider necessary to add, that it is allowed to stay on the basis of the temporary residence permit or visa issued from another European Union country up to 360 days with the purpose of study if you are accepted to study in an Estonian educational institution. No, of course, not longer than the cards or visas validity is, but if it lasts for 1 year, for example, and you're accepted to study at TalTech, then your stay is legal up to 360 days. This visa or temporary residence permit should be issued according to the EU Directive 2016/801 and has to have marking student on that. It is also important that with this type of visa or residence permit, you're also allowed to work in Estonia without any additional registrations at the Police and Border Guard Board, but only in case if your employment does not interfere your studies, which means that your main goal is still studies, not working. About long stay D-type visa and how to apply for that. First of all, where it can be applied. As I mentioned previously, it can be applied at the Estonian embassies, which handles visa application before arrival to Estonia, and we definitely suggest to do that if you have Estonian embassy in your country of home origin, and you know that you plan to stay in Estonia longer than maybe your visa-free regime allows, then of course use this possibility. If you're already in Estonia on a legal basis, then yes, it is possible to apply for such type of visa at the Police and Border Guard Board Service Office in Estonia. There are total 6 of them who accept such applications, which means not every service office, but the biggest one are dealing with them. How to apply for that in Estonia? Then, of course, bring all the necessary documents with you. In the next slide, I will mention what are the required documents. And keep in mind that you need to apply for that at least 10 business days before your legal basis, which you stay at here in Estonia, ends. So please do not wait until the date expiry of your stay. Do it in advance, but at least 10 business days before the legal basis is about to end. Such application will be reviewed by the Police and Border Guard Board and will be done the decision, hopefully positive, within 10 business days of the acceptance of the application. As I promised, here are the documents required. First, it is a completed and signed long-term visa application form that should be previously done at the pre-application environment. Pre-application environment is in 3 languages: Estonian, of course, English, and Russian. So please fill it in. When you finish doing that, you will receive this form for your email, then print it out and take it to the service office with you. 1 digital color photo. This can be done at the service office in the photo booth. We always recommend to do that. It is free of charge and definitely will be appropriate. But of course, it's not restricted that you do your own digital photo. You need to take your passport with you. This is your travel document, and it will be kept at the Police and Border Guard Board Service Office while your application will be on review. I repeat, 10 business days. You need to have a valid health insurance policy covering each day of requested visa. Here it is important notice because when someone wants to apply for the D visa for the maximum for 365 days, it is the maximum which is possible, and his or her insurance policy is valid for 6 months, despite that the application might be very perfect. Visa will be granted for 6 months. Why? Because one of the conditions is not fulfilled. You requested for a year, you'll be given for 6 months. Insurance policy should be covering each day, once again. Documents evidencing your purpose. In this context, we speak about studies, so this is an invitation of your educational institution you plan to study at. You need to pay the state fee for the visa application, and the state fee amount is 100 euros, no matter on how many days you ask it for, whether for 1 month or for maximum state fee is always 100 euros. When you sign the application form, you confirm to the police that you have your money substance to cover all your expenses here in Estonia while you're studying, and you also have an accommodation. It can be also rented, of course, or dormitory, absolutely fine. In case the police officer would like to see these documents, you will need to submit them. You'll be asked for them. Of course, then, if you have them, take them with you to the service office. As I mentioned, bring all the necessary documents required in 3 languages: Estonian, English, and Russian. So let's speak about another status. It is temporary residence permit, or as I call it, TRP. Once again, important notice. You need to apply it personally, in person. If we speak about that you are already here in Estonia safely, then you will need to reserve a time slot at the Police and Border Guard Board booking calendar. Here is the link to the booking calendar. And here, important, choose the correct service. The correct service for this is service number 4, not anything else. Other services, if you mistakenly reserve something else, your application will not be accepted. So, service number 4. Please start the process of the application as soon as possible. I even wrote here immediately. Please do not wait until your right of stay, visa-free regime, is about to expire. Otherwise, yes, you may be even obliged to leave the country, which means that if you cannot study online, interrupt your studies. Very bad. It is a longer processing time. As we remember, I mentioned that D-visa will be reviewed within 10 business days. So here we speak about months. And processing of this application for temporary residence permit may take up to 2 months, starting from the acceptance of the application into the procedure, or if you submit some documents which cannot be accepted, are inappropriate, or police officer would like and has all possibilities to ask for some additional questions relevant to this application, then the time of review may last even longer. How longer? No, until the officer is ready to make the decision, whether positive, luckily, or negative, unfortunately. When and if your residence permit is approved, then document will be printed. It is the residence permit card, and it will be printed during 30 days, calendar days. Documents required for the TRP for study purpose, 2 forms. One is temporary residence permit application form. Once again, can be submitted in English, of course. Completed form of details of your close relatives and family members. Here I would like to comment that you will need to mark all your close relatives, even those who are not planning to relocate with you to Estonia. Close relatives are considered parents, brothers, sisters, spouse, including ex-spouses, children, no matter if they're grown-ups or minors. If someone else you consider to be very close to you, then of course you may mention this person in this form as well. An identity document. Here is the copy of your passport. If you remember, I spoke about visa that your passport will be kept on hold at the Police and Border Guard Board. So here it is only necessary to submit a copy of the document. Passport for the residence permit application review will not be taken away from you. Once again, you will need to submit one digital color photo. And once again, it is possible to make it at the Police and Border Guard Board service office using the photo booths, and it is free of charge. For the residence permit application, you need to pay the state fee. For such type of application, if you submit it in Estonia, state fee is 64 euros. From the educational institution, they sent to the Police and Border Guard Board, to us, invitations confirming that, yes, they know that you're going to apply for the residence permit and they totally approve that. By signing the form number 1, this is completed temporary residence permit application form, you once again confirm that every data, every document, everything you submit along with the application, you know it is true, not false. You respond with your signature for every data and document. Also, when you submit this form, you confirm that you have enough money substance to cover all your expenses here in Estonia, and you have a medical insurance. Of course, these documents, insurance policy and legal income documents may be submitted along with the application. Yeah? But if you do not submit them, but you confirm, you may be asked to do that during the valid procedure when the police officer in charge will be reviewing your case. What is very important to note, some information is not good Republic, but of course, I will comment that. The first time application, I speak about TRP application, does not grant you an additional right to stay in Estonia. What does it mean? When I first mentioned that you arrive here in Estonia, whether on a visa or visa-free regime, so this is your status. When you submitted an application, you still depend on your status which you have in your hands, remembering that time on the review of the application may take time. So please make sure that until you receive your residence permit, and you will be notified about the decision via email, then you must make sure that your status in Estonia is legal, that your visa is still valid. Control it, please. Make sure, or visa-free regime. If necessary, if you understand that it takes time to review the application, if you ask something additionally, yes, or you did not manage to submit your application as soon as possible, yeah, you did not get the reservation, and your status is about to expire, then one of the options why you're still staying legally is to apply for a D visa to cover the time until you luckily receive your TRP. So, as I promised, I will comment about your right to work after you receive your residence permit based on study purpose. Yes, students who hold residence permits for study purpose and D visas for study purpose, they have a right to work in Estonia. You do not need any separate permits from the Police and Border Guard Board to be employed. However, students who are holders of the residence permits for study purpose is obliged by the law is the Alliance Act, study for a full-time load. So it means that yes, you may work, but primary purpose for residency is studying, not working. And in the next slide, I will explain why it's so important and why you should remembering always that you need to keep your full-time load valid in order to keep your residence permit valid as well. So, Alliance Act, paragraph 173, prim 1 says that if the person, the holder of the TRP for study purpose, will not continue studies for a full-time load, goes to a partial time load, or expelled from the educational institution, such TRP will expire 30 days after failure to complete the curricula. And here it is not the decision which can be discussed, which means that it goes directly from the law. It is not when the police makes the evaluation, is it still like that, what were the circumstances? There is no circumstances. It is like that. Studies, full-time load. Partial time load studies, university informs us, they are obliged, and your residence permit expires 30 days after. Regarding the family members, these were the changes that came last year, September, almost a year ago. And from that, the Alliance Act, once again, the law that regulates foreigners from non-EU countries living, working, studying in Estonia. And with that change, when you're going to be a student here in Estonia and study for the bachelor's or master's level, then you may not invite your spouse based on family member or D visa at the same requirements, which means it is still possible to apply for the T visa. It is not restricted, not at all, but there will be applicable all the general requirements, and one of them is the money substance, which means that family member, spouse, should be able to cover each day with the 70 euros per each visa day. Another important change which took place this year from the 1st of January is about inviting a spouse with a temporary residence permit for settling with a spouse. If you're a student, bachelor's, master's, inviting the spouse, that it is not possible to do it right away, but first you need to reside based on the residence permit for study purpose in Estonia at least for 2 years. People ask whether visas counted. No, visas not counted. Visa-free regimes are now counted. Only time resided with a temporary residence permit. Why I mentioned bachelor's and master's? Because those amendments are not applicable to the PhD students. For PhD students, they still can relocate on a simpler conditions, and their spouses can apply for the residence permit right away for settling with a spouse. I will also mention you something about future, when how to stay in Estonia after your TRP for studies is about to expire. And very briefly, then if you are a holder of the residence permit for studying, then and it ends upon the end of their validity, then your stay in Estonia will be legal for the 270 additional days. Yes, you will no longer be a resident of Estonia, holder of the residence permit, but your stay, work, will be absolutely legal. Regarding your work, there will be no salary rates, there will be no additional requirements that you should apply from the Police and Border Guard Board during the status. And you may think what might be after. Yes, if you would like to apply for a new residence permit basis on a new basis, yeah, the most common of them is employment. Once again, it might be study. If you studied bachelor's, go to master's, or study master's, go to PhD. Why not? Then it's a new residence permit, new process, business. And for settling permanently. Regarding the settling permanently, then here I mentioned in this context for PhD holders only due to the fact that for those who studied with residence permit for studies, bachelor's, master's, they may not go directly for this type of residence permit because years when you apply for such type of residency will not be counted. It is also one of the changes which took place last year, May. Regarding this 270 days, we recommend to formalize that in your passport in a form of visa sticker, in a form of visa D, and for that you will need a free application form. Once again, photo, travel document, that's your passport, and document that confirms you pay the state fee. 30 euros for that should be. Such formalization can be applied only in Estonia and only at the Police and Border Guard Board. Such application will be reviewed within 3 business days. So, as I promised, I will introduce my service a little bit more. As I mentioned, I work at the Police and Border Guard Board, and I'm migration advisor, and our project called AMIF 2021-6, and it is co-founded by the European Union through Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund, and the Ministry of Interior. Service launched on 1st of March 2017. I joined this wonderful team, if I'm not mistaken, in 2019. Yeah, something like that. And here is the information about my team, about us. We have 6 wonderful people in my team, 5 women, 1 man, and we are those who consult foreigners, employers, educational institutions in 3 languages. Yes, we speak 3 languages, Estonian, of course, English and Russian. And how you can contact us? You may call us every business day, from Monday to Friday, from 9 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the evening. Yes, our lines are quite busy, but we have queues. So if your questions are urgent, please do not hesitate to call us. And yes, we all speak English. Yes, we all speak Russian, because the first question was, do you speak English? Yes, I do. I will understand your question. At least I will try. So you may write to us in 3 languages again. This is our email, migrationadvice@politsei.ee. We will answer your request as soon as possible during 30 days, but we do not wait for such a long time. We try to answer very, very quickly. You may meet us in Skype, but in order to have a Skype call with us, you will need to make a request. So you may write to migrationadvice@politsei.ee and ask for a Skype meeting. One of our advisors, including myself, will contact you and offer you the fastest time we can offer. We also do the meetings with the clients, with the foreigners, educational institutions, employers. Right now we do it in Tallinn and Tartu. So in Tallinn, we do it through the International House of Estonia. Today I saw that Sandra also introduced you the service, so you can meet me and my colleague, another colleague from Tallinn. There will be glad to meet you and discuss all your questions. So, and we also organize participate and organize ourselves different meetings, with employers, with educational institutions, and also this year we had 2 sessions in English for the students who are about to graduate. And it was through Teams, we're organized and share this information through the educational institution. So that's all from my side. Hope it was useful for you, not very boring. So right now, thank you for listening. Good luck with your studies and ask for your questions.
We do have a couple of questions, actually. So one person says, I'm a non-EU underage student who applied for a long stay visa already, but I'm not turning 18 by the time my visa runs out. So what are the legal bases for me?
What is the legal basis right now for staying? Did he apply here in Estonia? What was the legal basis when you applied?
Is the person here?
Is the person here?
Maybe they can...
No? Okay, then I will...
Oh, he's right there. Can you hear? Alrighty, I'm just gonna get this to you. There you go.
So I have 90 days for staying in EU countries for my with my Ukrainian passport, and my visa will be ready in like several days. But I won't turn 18 when the visa runs out.
So you already submitted the visa application.
Yes.
While we're still legally here. So it's a very good question. And because when you submit the visa application while staying in Estonia on a legal basis, your stay will be legal until the end of the procedure regarding the visa, which will be 10 business days. And I really hope that it will end with a positive decision. If not, and your current status is about to run out, then please contact us. We'll explain how to proceed. But if the decision is positive, then no worries. You're now staying legally, despite that the visa, the current status is runs out. Because by the law, when you apply for the D visa in Estonia, when it's still legally, your stay is legal until the end of the procedure.
That's not kind of what I mean, because the visa itself runs out. I get it for like 6 months or something, but I still won't turn 18 after. So I can't apply for a TRP.
Sorry, can you speak louder because right now you stay.
My visa will run out before I will be able to
Estonia?
get TRP.
Can we after discuss that?
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So I will ask for you all the information because it may be two-person. Okay.
Alrighty, that was more specific question. We can dive into the general ones, I guess, for now.
Yes.
Okay, actually, we do have specific questions more. So there's this person who's asking if I'm correct, Latvians or Lithuanians are able to stay up to a year without any registration.
Absolutely, they're the citizens of European Union, up to 3 months in Estonia.
Okay, is it possible to sort out the place of residence papers and create the ID card at the same place and same time? And this person is from EU.
From you mean when you register your place of residence, it can be done whether at the International House of Estonia, there is a specialist, or at the local government, but unfortunately it cannot be done, the ID card, at the same time, at the same spot. It is different procedures. First you register your place of residence, and then you still turn to the Police and Border Guard Board when you apply for an ID card, which will be ready in 30 days, within 30 days.
Another question, where do we pay for the payment of the state fee?
For which service? I mean, at the Police and Border Guard Board, state fee can be paid different ways. Yes, if you apply something at the Police and Border Guard Board first, it is at the service office, at the spot. If we speak about visas, then if you pay at the service office only in cash. If we speak about residence permits, then you want to pay the state fee at the spot when you apply for something by card, except American Express, or in cash once again. But if you already have an internet bank, Estonian or international even one, you may do it like transfer via internet bank. So several ways are possible. But the most common and usual when you pay at the spot, at the Police and Border Guard Board. Once again, for visas at the spot, only in cash right now.
Alrighty, there's another question about how can underage students get TRP?
Underage, I mean minors, yeah? You mean minors. Yep. It is required then the consents of the parents regarding that you are a minor and you are here to stay, live and study. And also, if you are a minor holder of the TRP, you will need to have a guardian. Guardian means that, yes, university has several applications regarding you, but they cannot represent you everywhere. For instance, if you're a person who is 16 or 15, no, I mean not about to be 18 very, very soon, and you need to go to the family doctor or another organization, then you will need to have someone who will represent you, yeah? Because if you're a minor, under 18, there are certain limitations. For the TRP, the package of the documents, all the same. What is important, that notarized consent or consents of your parents or legal representatives.
Right. What does it mean when an educational institute submits a digitally signed invitation form?
Oh, very good question. This is the invitation that university sends to the Police and Border Guard Board, indicating, yes, they are inviting you to study whether with the TRP, temporary residence permit, this is a form, or with the visa. This is the document from the university, which confirms that they know you. You apply for the residence permit or visa.
Do we need a printed application form to apply for TRP?
Yes, when you fill in the forms, I mentioned there are 2 of them. Yes, it can be done in English. When you fill them in, then it is very good that you type them out, print them out, print them out, sign them, and take it to the service office when you come and submit the application. Please do the same with the visas as well.
What happens if my application gets denied, but I'm in Estonia on a D visa, on D-type visa?
It depends on the purposes of denial. It is very difficult to answer this question like very, very strictly. It very depends why your application was denied. If the application was denied for some reasons that, no, okay, you do not qualify under residence permit, but you still cover your studies with a visa and nothing really awful was revealed during the procedure, then your visa will be valid. If not, then there are different scenarios, including this, that your visa might be also terminated. It very depends.
I think this was covered before, but this is a bit different worded. Where should we get the invitation letter for the TRP?
Invitation regarding university. University sends it to the Police and Border Guard Board directly, but you can ask from the coordinator. If you know the coordinator, the representative, you may ask whether they did it regarding you or not.
Someone asked about if you could let them know about the requirements for long-term residence permit.
Long-term residence permit. Oh. Of course, yeah, I can mention them right now. It is like a really, really longer process, but the long-term residence permit or permanent one, in the law it's translated as a long-term residence permit, requirement is that you need to reside based on the residence permit before you do that, at least for 5 years. And here in the context of studies, I will try to explain it as simple as possible, but it's not very simple. For instance, you come to Estonia, received your TRP for studies for 2 years. Then you resided here for 2 years, you succeeded, you need to apply and receive before the long-term residence permit TRP on another basis. For instance, it is employment. You applied for employment, you got succeeded, you received for that. Now you are holder of the TRP for employment and reside for some time regarding that. So when you go to the calculation of your years, of 5 years, which is compulsory for the long-term residence permit, then by the law, Alliance Act, your time you stayed in Estonia on the TRP based on studies will be divided into half. So 2 years will be considered as 1. And then employment residence permit will be considered in a full amount. It is by the law. Also, you may now go directly from the study purpose to the long-term residence permit, which means in between you are required to have residence permit on another basis. No matter how many years you're gonna reside with the TRP for studies, maybe you started the bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and total it may be 5 or even more years, does not count. You still need to receive, hold TRP on another basis, and in total to have 5 years. Along with the other conditions, I will not list them all, but I will mention one of the most important one. You need to pass Estonian B1 language exam successfully and can speak Estonian. Or you may be relieved from this examination if you're gonna study in Estonian language and receive your diploma.
Righty, we have another one. Regarding the document, regarding the document where the data of close relatives is required, what should I do if I have more than 3 close relatives? The document only has space for 3.
Take more forms, the same form, and continue with the close relatives. If you are so lucky to have more than 3, more than 6, then use as much forms as you need.
Someone is concerned about complications that are related with TRP for minors. What could be the complications?
I would like to ask the same. What might be the complications? Some documents are missing or something, or if you wish to discuss that after in private, maybe? So
Someone asked if they can open a bank account without a TRP.
that information should be asked from the banks. Yeah, this is not our authority, but I presume it should be possible, but maybe not from every bank, sorry.
It is not written on the website, but the police center is asking for financial documents. What are those financial competence that could be required for residence permit?
Actually, if I'm not mistaken, it is written on the website. I can recheck that. Yes, of course. As I mentioned, when you sign the application form, apply for TRP, you need to confirm that you have money substance to cover all your expenses in Estonia. We speak right now in a context of study purpose, and the absolute minimum by the law is 800 euros gross per month here. Hence, once again, it's an absolute minimum, meaning that you still need to be able to cover all your expenses, and they might be different for each one of you, depending on the lifestyle you have, you know.
What procedure will I have to go through if I'm a non-EU citizen, but I have a Belgian study residence permit, and now I'm in Estonia only for 1 semester?
Have you got accepted to the
institute in Estonia?
the University of Estonia? So if you got accepted to the Estonian educational institution, to TalTech, and you have a residence permit for study purpose along with the directive, please specify how the Belgium accepted this directive or not, because not every, Estonia has accepted, but I'm not sure if Belgium specify that. If you have this directive mark, and if your residence permit is valid, I don't know for how many days, you can see it on your card, then you might cover your studies with this temporary residence permit you have for Belgium. Maximum is up to 360 days. Once again, according to the directive, should be issued, and make sure that Belgium has accepted the directive, and you also accept it to the educational institution here.
What is the procedure to get Estonian ID for non-EU students?
ID from non-EU students is a temporary residence permit. Here I explain it for study purpose. The result, if it is possible, will be residence permit card.
Fair enough.
This is an ID.
We do have a lot of questions about like minors. So would you want to answer right now, or would you want the person to come up to you?
It depends on the question.
The question is about, can they apply to TRP because they're not turning 18 until
yes,
2
of course.
months?
Yes, of course. You may still apply for the temporary residence permit for studies if the university supports your application. But remember, along with the compulsory documents, you need to have notarized consents of your parents, or if your parents are here with you, in Estonia right now, maybe with the visas or visa-free regimes, when you come to the service office, there is a time, come with your parents, and they can write a consent on the spot. Then it's not necessary to have any notarized consents. But if your parents are not with you, it is one of the required documents. And then after, remember that if you're not soon turning 18 and you're a minor, then access to the some services may be limited, and you still need to have a guardian. Maybe it can be some person. So it is necessary to find. If you do not have such, if I'm not mistaken, this is the responsibility of the local government.
A person is asking, do they need to get their passport notarized if they want to get to apply for TRP?
No.
All right. So a person asks, so we cannot work part-time if we get a TRP?
You may work part-time, absolutely, if you have TRP based on studies, as soon as your work does not interfere your studies, if you want to keep your residence permit valid, because for study purpose, it is only possible full-time load. So if you want to work, it is not restricted, and there is no additional registration for holders of the TRP of studies. Just your mind that, remember, prime goal is still studies, not working.
I think that's all for now. Thank you so much. those are all the questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, guys, a lot of you guys have been asking about when these slides will be available. So next week, these will be available on our TalTech homepage, like website. You can check it there. If you really want to access them right away, go to our YouTube channel, TalTech. You just type and search it, and we have live videos which will be saved. So you can access them already on that video as well. Also, green card. I've been hearing a lot about traveling card, so you do not need a TRP for that. What I think what I said yesterday might have caused confusion. So if you get a green card from our kiosk, you of course need to put in a lot like funds or money into this to make it work until you do have a TRP, and then with TRP you can get them linked, and that's when you use it. So this is the procedure for it. If you have any further questions regarding green card, just let me know. Also, if you go to the TalTech homepage, there are info sessions regarding your specific courses, regarding your specific schools. They are mandatory. Make sure you're not attending them. So just go and check it out on the website. Also, it's kind of it was a very good question that came when we were on a break. Someone was asking that they forgot or they're kind of very late to get a TRP appointment. And basically I gave them a bit of a hack, which I did as well. So of course, it's right now, if you try to find it, it will be pretty much booked for next 2 months. So what I did was basically apply for the TRP, but in another city. I went to Narva. I could get the slot quite earlier. So if you are kind of in the same spot, then yeah, this is a hack for you. And I think this is the end of orientation. Thank you so much for being a very lively audience. And I hope you were able to absorb most of it. And yeah, guys, we have some really amazing snacks out there. And enjoy.